Hi everyone, Sandra Vale here at Homesteading Ways, and today I'm going to show you how to make crunchy peanut butter granola bars. Super easy to do, only takes about a half an hour, and they taste a lot better than the stuff you can get in the store. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is mix a couple of our wet ingredients, and that's going to be a half a cup of peanut butter, and I'm using crunchy, and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. We're just going to put them together and zap them in the microwave here for about 30 seconds, but it could be up to a whole minute depending on how well they're melting. I'm just going to measure this out. Oopsies. Good enough. That's about a half. And then 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. Coconut oil has, to me, no flavor at all. It smells a little coconutty, you know, coming straight out of the jar, but it really has no flavor at all, especially once it's heated up. Like, even if you're sauteing with it, you don't ever have to worry about if your dish is going to taste somewhat like coconut, because it won't. And it's such a super healthy oil. Years back they tried to vilify it, but there's no reason for that. Now, I'm going to put this in here for 30 seconds. Well, I'm going to do 35 seconds. And then, while that's going on, we'll do a little bit of our drying. Now, in the bowl, I have 3 cups of oatmeal, just your regular rolled oats. I use the old-fashioned, but you can use the quick cooking too if you like. Then we're going to add to that a cup of Rice Krispies cereal. You can use generic or whatever. Oops, forgot something. Along with that, we're going to add a 1/3 cup of honey. Now don't worry about following along, because I'll put this recipe in the description. So seeing I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, it might be hard to remember. There we go. I knew there was a reason the honey was sitting out. A little sticky. Okay, we'll put that for 10 more seconds. Let's see how that goes. So we have that together. Then we're going to add a half a teaspoon each of table salt and baking soda. And by the way, before you start this, preheat your oven to 350. Then you'll also want to line like a 9x13 pan with parchment paper. You really need to have that in there. Okay, let's check this. It's looking pretty good, but I think it could still use maybe 20 more seconds or so. We really want that to kind of melt up well together. My voice is a little off. I think I'm catching a cold. Now I'll just mix this up a little bit. It doesn't have to be much. Get it around there. That's all fine and dandy. looking good. It's very liquidy. That's just what you want. Now we're going to add to it, if I can get the lid off, my homemade vanilla. But whatever vanilla you have, use it. We're going to use a teaspoon of that. Vanilla seems to make everything taste just a little bit better. And then, to that we are going to add just a half a tablespoon of brown sugar. Gives it just that little extra something. Brown sugar is a little on the hard side here. Good enough. There we go. I'm just going to take this little baby whisk and whisk it around so everything's mixed real well. Now you can add other stuff to this. If you want to add chopped peanuts or pecans or maybe some cranberries or raisins, go right ahead and mix them in. Make it your own. Make it how you like it. So now we're just going to mix the two ingredients together. Well, not two ingredients, but the wet and the dry. Smells really good, and if you like peanut butter, you're going to love this. It's going to be sticky. Okay, it's ready to go into the pan. Everything's mixed together nicely, but it is sticky, so what you're going to want to do, you can try and squish it, you know, kind of like Rice Krispies treats, if you ever made those before. Move them around so it fits in. The spoon is doing all right for now. But if it starts to get too sticky on you, what I do, you got to fix this parchment. Make sure your parchment paper is all the way in the corners. And now you're really going to have to push down on this. You really want to compress it. So I use a napkin with some coconut oil on it so that it doesn't get too sticky. But you can also use a little bit of butter if that works better for you. And then just push down really hard on there. You want to compress it. You know, make it as even as you can so that you end up with even-sized bars. Try and fix this parchment in the corners. The more evenly it is, the better they'll bake up as well. You don't want some weird shaped bars. The nicer you can make them, the better. Presentation is part of it, isn't it? Make them nice and flat and even. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So, now I'm going to put them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And that's at 350 preheated oven. Just keep an eye on them, and when they start to look a really gold, rich brown, then they're ready to come out. Okay, they came out of the oven, and I let them cool for about 10 to 20 minutes. You want them to still be a little bit soft, but firm. Mine, kind of looks like they got a little too brown on the edges there, but it'll still be fine. And normally, I use a pizza cutter to cut them, but that disappeared, so I'm thinking a kid took it, and I got to use this knife instead. But just cut them, you know, however big you want them. See? And then you can just cut them into pieces, however big. Once they're completely cooled, you can put them in a Tupperware, or you can individually wrap them if you want plastic wrap, and they'll stay good for, geez, probably a couple weeks at least. These are usually gone in less than a week in my house. But if you're worried about it, then go ahead and stick them in the fridge. That way nothing, will happen to them. But they should be fine on the counter for a while. I hope you enjoy them. They smell really good. Thanks for watching the video. Comment and subscribe. That would be great. We'll be talking to you soon, and you take care.